Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Brian Crombie Radio while we're on Saga 960. If you've been a listener to my show, that I often want to reach out to some artists that I've come into touch with over the course of the years. And Tom Barlow, who's a favorite performer of mine, introduced me to Gracie, who I just think has got one of the best voices that I've ever heard. I had the pleasure of her actually coming and performing in my backyard at one point in time, and I've heard her play down in Port Credit a few times. Her name is Gracie Ella. She is an R&B singer-songwriter, guitarist from Burlington. She just released her debut single music video, Sleep on Me, in December, and it's accumulated already over 150,000 views on YouTube. And her next single is set to drop in February on Valentine's Day. Gracie, welcome to our show. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
So tell us, with all the restaurants and bars and live entertainment places closed, it's got to be challenging.
Definitely a challenge, but I've been finding new ways to continue being creative and also feed my soul and create. And so I'm finding different ways to cope.
And what are those different ways? How have you been able to stay sane?
Well, Instagram has been helpful. The internet has been helpful, but also a bit of an addiction. Obviously, everybody is constantly on their phones, constantly on their screens already. So, it's been a little bit oversaturated. A lot of people are posting right now, which makes it a little difficult to navigate how to make myself stand out on the platforms. But I figured, I'm just gonna perform. I'm just gonna sing and do what I do best and hope that, it reaches enough people and that's all I can do. And so that's been one way. Other than that, I've just been doing a lot of meditation, finding new work as well. At the beginning of the pandemic, I looked for new jobs. I was hostessing for a minute.
A whole minute.
Yeah. I was also working at a grocery store for a little while, just trying to do different things to not have it be so overwhelming, right?
Now I see in the background 2 guitars and a piano, so you're obviously not just a singer, but you play as well.
Yes, I play guitar. I've been playing for about 13 years now, and piano, I'm okay. I'm not like Robert Glasper, but but I do my best. And
how did you get into music?
Honestly, I was into it from a very young age. My mom always played music on our stereo, so there was always like Michael Jackson or Celine Dion or Gypsy Kings, or like just a different array of her collection playing in the house. So when I was a kid, I would just sing along to everything. And I think from a very young age, I just kind of knew that was something I enjoyed doing a lot, and I wanted to incorporate it in my life somehow.
Did your mother perform as well, or just listen?
No, my family is very musical. My mom, on my mom's side, my mom likes to sing for fun, and so does my grandmother, and my grandfather used to play the accordion and sing at our dinner table. So it was a bit loud at our dinner table when I was a kid, which was great.
You have a very soulful voice, I think. How would you describe your voice?
Yeah, I'm very heavily influenced by R&B, soul music. It's just anything Motown, anything from the 60s to now. I just like to keep it pretty wide range,
And this first single, tell us a little bit about it if you could.
This first single is my debut, and I wrote it in about I think March of last year, and I used to travel before COVID frequently between LA and New York to record, and so this is one of the songs that I recorded with my good friend Finnessy and my good friend Faraz, and co-wrote it between the three of us, produced it within a day. It was very fast, and I'm just it's just a love song. It's about having confidence in yourself. And sleep on me is a term that we millennials have used to describe like waiting too long to act. So it's kind of like a, hey dude, like don't miss the opportunity to be with me because here I am.
So it's a love song and a confidence song, or what?
Yeah, it's kind of like a self-empowerment love song.
Well, I look forward to hoping we can play it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to take a break. We're talking tonight with Gracie Ella, an R&B singer, songwriter and guitarist from Burlington. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to try to play her song, her new single. Stay with us.
I'm Gracie Ella, and we're about to hear a snippet of my song "Sleep on Me."
Welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour, Saga 960. We're meeting with Gracie Ella, a singer-songwriter guitarist who I've had the pleasure of hearing on several occasions. She's been struggling through COVID-19, and she's quite honest and frank about that. But during December, she released her very first single. Gracie, what's the first single?
The first single is called "Sleep on Me," and it's written by myself, Faraz, and Finnessy, both based out of LA. And it's just a self-empowerment song, love song, just a feel-good kind of bop, for people to just keep positive, I guess, right?
Excellent.
So yeah.
Here goes.
Thank you.
Had a couple hookups, whole time thought of you. Need a couple friends, but I just wanna fuck with you. Something about our conversation. I just wanna be your main one. Had a couple drinks, now I'm feeling bulletproof. If you on the fence, swing onto my heaven. You don't settle for no imitation. Let me be your motivation. I know you're thinking about it. Put that thought into action. Boy, I wish you would call me. What's the worst that could happen? See you watching my stories. You don't have to imagine. Boy, I wish you would call me. What's the worst that could? Eyes closed, lips drop. That's the way I think about it. Eyes closed, lips drop. Can't deny I'm all about it. Grab your keys and come on over. Talk until we fall asleep. If you don't sleep on me. If you want that good love move, don't think about it. If you got a crush, you know what to do about it. I know you know where to find me. Baby, do you see what I see? I see you, I see me, I see us in this dream. TLC ain't too proud for begging, and I'ma go in that same direction. I know you're thinking about it. Put that thought into action. Boy, I wish you would call me. What's the worst that could happen? See you watching my stories. You don't have to imagine. Boy, I wish you would call me. What's the worst that could? Eyes closed, lips drop. That's the way I think about it. Eyes closed, lips drop. Can't deny I'm all about it. Grab your keys and come on over. Talk until we fall asleep. If you don't sleep on me. Lips drop. Eyes closed, lips drop. That's the way I think about it. Eyes closed, lips drop. Ooh. Eyes closed, lips
great challenge for all of
What
you.
a great-
Every computer in your house. Your dad, your
Well, that was just an incredible new single by Gracie Ella. She's a R&B soul artist from Burlington who I've had the pleasure of hearing a couple of different times, both in my backyard as well as down in Port Credit. Gracie, tell us a little bit about COVID-19. You say it's been challenging. Has it been an opportunity for you to write any music?
Absolutely. When it began, I really took advantage of the opportunity to go live on my Instagram, to kind of do more work for my page. And so that was positive. I think I was getting some positives out of it in the beginning, but then as it went on, I was starting to find the challenges more and more difficult. A lot of me, as well as a lot of artists I know, struggle with addiction, struggle with depression. And, it's been a bit difficult to confront all of that, but also healthy. But yeah, just kind of wasn't expecting to face myself as much as I have been. So
You
yeah.
made a post a week or so ago about depression and addiction. Do you want to talk about that at all?
You know, it's definitely something I think that a lot of artists struggle with, and a lot of people struggle with. And when you're in the busy sort of day-to-day life, you don't get a chance to really be alone and discover, who you are, those things about who you are, those tendencies that you have. So, everyone has their own situation and their own difficulties with it. But for me, it's just, I have some habits that I'd like to get rid of, some changes that I'd like to implement that I never took seriously. And now I think that, I think it's been about 9 months in or so to this pandemic. I think now I'm just starting to find a good flow for myself and, getting a handle on my addictions. So, yeah,
How do you,
but it
how do you
has been
get
a struggle.
how do you get a handle on your addictions?
For me, it's just very much a mental thing. I've been meditating quite a bit. Um, for me, my triggers are emotional. So the things that happen in my life, if I'm very emotionally attached to someone, or if, just if something were to happen, it kind of, I run to my vices first thing. Plus it's also a way to cope with my anxiety. So, it's been a coping mechanism for me to choose my addictions to, to get through. But, so I guess I guess I've just been replacing my addictions with healthier options. I've been working out more, and that's been helping, but it's a little chilly outside, so it's hard to get a run in every day, but I do get it in when I can.
Seeing you on stage, no one would ever think you'd have anxiety issues or confidence issues or addiction issues. You have such confidence when you stand up and you sing.
Yeah.
Is that a mask? Is that an act?
A bit, yeah. It's kind of like that saying, I don't remember exactly how it goes, but it was like the loudest one in the room is usually like the most insecure, right? It is kind of like, it's not totally a mask. I mean, I like to be as honest as I can be as a human being on stage, and it is where I feel the most comfortable. So,
You feel most comfortable on stage.
yeah,
That's
I do,
interesting.
but I like I still get nervous. It's just that it's kind of like, it goes away the minute I start to sing, and it kind of, it settles into this feeling that is actually very empowering for me. So I enjoy the thrill of it. I enjoy it. But then I think that's why the addictions come into play, because it's such a high for me naturally that when I get off stage, I need to find things to continue that. So yeah, it's tricky.
So
but
you go to substances to replace the thrill and the excitement of the crowd?
Yeah, a bit. It's kind of like that. Yeah.
Really? So I interviewed a guy by the name of Rob Laidlaw. I'm not sure if you know him, but he was the bass guitarist for Platinum Blonde, Honeymoon Suite, um, uh, a whole bunch of different Canadian rock bands over the years. And he said that the sex, drugs, rock and roll, the rock and roll lifestyle was very appealing and intoxicating for about a decade. But then he hit rock bottom, and he said, I needed to hit rock bottom because if I hadn't hit rock bottom, I never would have been able to get over it. And he's now been sober for, I think he said, 7 years,
Yeah.
and thinks that that was the worst part of his life.
Yeah.
Didn't need to hit rock bottom to get over addiction?
I think it varies for different people, like their rock bottom varies. But yeah, I do think that people need to hit rock bottom. I do think that people need some kind of wake up call to jolt them into, the right mindset, or to jolt them into thinking like, okay, something's seriously wrong. You can't get out of something, can't get out of an addiction if you don't think it's wrong. So yeah, I do think that people need to hit their rock bottom. And I think this has been, I've been in worse states, but I do think that this is a wake up call for me. So it's good.
Well,
It's good.
you are an incredible talent. I absolutely adore your voice.
Thank you so much.
The music video was extremely well done. I'm not sure where the cottage or house was that you filmed it in, but that's a pretty
It was
nice,
in Quebec
nice
City.
place.
It was just north of Quebec City.
Gorgeous place. What's next for you?
Well, what's next is, continuing in my journey of sobriety, and also just my next single will be coming out in February, which I'm very excited about. It is called Lady, and it features Casey Roberts, which I'm very excited about. And so just one day at a time, kind of. But
I saw you posted a cappella version of a song, and on I think it was Instagram, and it was fascinating because I think it had 6 different tracks at the same time. How did you do that?
I use this app called Acapella, actually, and it allows you the option to record several videos at a time. So I've just been using that because it's super fun, and because I like to include harmonies on everything. So
How do you get them all timed correctly?
well, mostly, I'll start the guitar video first, or the instrumental video first, so that I know, what's coming, and then yeah, I'll just sing to it, and I'll kind of know where everything goes already. But there is a metronome, if you need it, there is a metronome built in, so that's fun.
Well, it was must be a great app, because I thought it was you and 5 of your best friends all singing and playing at the exact same time. It was incredible, and the harmonies were beautiful.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I try to do one a day.
I interviewed another artist a week ago who said, it's interesting, some of the best music of all time has been written in the worst times, whether it be heartbreak or depression or whatever it is. And there's something about the creativity that is brought upon us by tough times that is fascinating. And so maybe this is a time for you to become the most creative you've ever been.
Yeah, I've definitely been writing a lot more than I usually do. I've actually got a solo record that I'm working on, acoustic record that I'm working on. So it's definitely been good creatively for me.
Well, when you come out with this new single, please check back in, and we'll hopefully play it on air again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Have you got a message for, you mentioned millennials is who you were singing to, at least the lingo you were using in the last song. Have you got a message for people that are struggling through COVID-19, struggling through isolation, struggling through maybe depression or anxiety, what would you like to say to them?
I think my message would just be to focus on yourself. This is a perfect moment to focus on yourself and confront yourself and meditate and practice being the person that you've always wanted to be. And, I think, yeah.
Practice being the person you always wanted to be.
Yeah. Like every day is now an opportunity. There's no such thing as FOMO right now. There's no such thing as fear of missing out. So, because there's nothing going on. So take the opportunity to be alone and practice your craft, I think that's what my message would be.
Gracie, you used to do an open mic, I think every Monday in Port Credit at Spice. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. I miss it very much.
And where else, if the world comes back to normal, where else might we catch you playing?
Michael's on Simcoe every Saturday. It's a steakhouse downtown.
Yep.
Simcoe in Adelaide.
Excellent. And if we want to check you out online, how can we best do that?
You can find me on my Instagram page, which is Gracie Official Music. And also I am on Facebook as Gracie Ella. Please add me. And just those two for now.
And if we want to get you on Spotify or something, how do we do that?
And Spotify, I'm on Spotify as well as Gracie Ella.
Gracie Ella with 2 L's, which is a mistake I made when I tried to get you up. I put in only 1 L, and that was a mistake.
Yes.
Gracie Ella, a singer, songwriter, guitarist, R&B soul singer from Burlington, Ontario, who plays in Port Credit on a fairly, or used to play in Port Credit on a fairly regular basis, who's just released her new single and is going to release another one in February. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure meeting you again.
Brian. Thank you so much.
We're going to take a break and come back with another interview in just a minute. Stay with us.
Ready.